the 2009 Toyota Corolla, just recently redesigned for 2009. Since its original conception in 1968, this is the #1 selling car, thanks Mike, of any car, period. And if you can think on one hand just a couple manufacturers, Ford, Honda, any of the manufacturers, and then if you think beyond that how many vehicles they have, and then if you think beyond that how many other countries have, to put that into perspective, this is the #1 selling car of any of those vehicles for all time in the entire world. So pretty impressive. Let me have you come around here and follow me. If you wouldn't mind just reaching in and grabbing this latch right here, come right around. And follow me to the front. I want to show you a couple things. Before I open this, you're familiar with Lexus, correct? Yeah. Toyota and Lexus, they're very similar companies. Toyota does own Lexus, and they use a lot of the same technologies. You take a peek right in here. See this weather stripping? The purpose of that, when this is sealed tight, when wind hits that, instead of it making a lot of whistly noise and all that stuff you would hear in older vehicles, it hits that and goes up over the car. Toyota has a phrase called Kaizen. It means continuous improvement. Previously, one of the major complaints about a Corolla was the fact that it was too noisy. So what they did to improve upon that, they made this little weather stripping and put it all over the inside of the vehicle. When I open this up, you'll see that it's up in here, so when wind hits it, it goes up over the vehicle, making it pretty quiet. Now, this particular car, for 09, they changed it to utilize something called dual VVTi. VVTi stands for variable valve timing with intelligence. It just basically means, more or less, that it can change the way the air comes into the engine. But what's new, the dual aspect of that, it changes how the air can be exhausted out of the engine. The benefit to that means you get better gas mileage and it's quicker, picks up speed very quickly. This is on a drop motor mount, so if you can picture, not to be gruesome, but God forbid it ever got in a collision in the front, instead of this engine and all the components ending up on your lap or on your family's lap, it'll drop down under the vehicle to miss you on purpose. It's also their liquid motor mount, so when the vehicle's on, you can just about put your hand on the dashboard and not feel any of the vibration, thus, again, being that quiet aspect. You'll also notice all the containers are clear, so it's very easy to see what fluids you need, all right? They also do something called crumple zones on the front. They design it so that on purpose, this would collapse in the front and in increments, so it goes from a very quick to a slower crumple up to the cabin. So it's basically taking the impact on purpose in the front, and then what happens is it goes around the vehicle so you don't feel a lot of it in the cabin. So some nice features on the front there. Any questions about any of that? All right, follow me right around. One of my favorite, simplest things about this car is breakaway mirrors. They go back and forth. If you happen to have anybody that ever drives your vehicle that's not a good driver, or if you yourself are not such a good driver, this'll, instead of it snapping off, they'll collapse on purpose, also to fit into tight squeezes, but these are heated mirrors as well. One of the simplest things, but you don't find that on a lot of vehicles in this class, usually reserved for more luxury vehicles, so you don't have to scrape in New England. If you take a peek in here, you'll see you have 2 glove boxes as opposed to just the one on the bottom. You'll also have a total of 6 airbags. So just above me here, I have a curtain airbag. You also have your driver and passenger airbags, and these are advanced airbags, so they deploy at different speeds based on how close you're sitting. This one can even go as far as not even deploying if it's not necessary. So because I'm sitting here, it knows it needs to go off. If you have a child sitting here, depending on their weight, it won't deploy. You also have seat-mounted side airbags that they'll deploy right out of the seat just for the side for your rib cage and lower arm. So a total of 6, 3 on both sides. Let me have you come right around here. If you want to hop in the middle there, you can see. Go ahead, hop in. Too tight for you? Then I'll move the front forward, but I think you'll fit. In the middle, if you go ahead and take a pull on that little lever there, you'll see you got 2 cup holders there. You also have 3 shoulder harnesses, so there's no lap belt for the person sitting in the middle. You also have headrest here. This is one of the few vehicles in its class that actually has headrests for the people sitting in the back. As simple as that is, it goes a long way. If, God forbid, again, it ever got in a collision, you don't want your head snapping back there. You won't actually have that there. Let me have you hop out. I'm going to show you in the back. And while I close this, I just want to show you, the reason I want to show you this on the window sticker, you'll see right on the bottom here, this is rated by the government. This is not something Toyota has any control over, or any other manufacturer that matters, so it's not a biased opinion. This is by the government. You get up anywhere from 22 to 32 for gas mileage in the city, an average of 27, and up to 41 on the highway. So phenomenal gas mileage, all right? You'll also notice you have keyless entry here, and if I give a push on that, that releases this, so when you're carrying groceries and you have this in your pocket, you just press and hold that. This will release. And you have two spots here for a 60/40 rear folding seat. So if I give a tug on that, that releases that seat. And then if you have whatever, 2x4s or skis or a snowboard or whatever, you can just push it straight through. The purpose of that is so you can give a tug on this and then push your stuff straight through. Instead of, you remember older vehicles, maybe even you have one now where it releases from in here. What happens is you open the door, you pull that, open the trunk, then put your stuff in. It takes you 5-10 minutes just to be able to put stuff through. So this is a lot easier. This also glows in the dark, and I've actually gone as far as hopping in here and seeing what it looks like. But this glows in the dark so you can see if, God forbid, a child ever fell in there or anybody ever decided to hop in, they can get themselves out. Let me have you come right around here and hop in the driver's seat for a moment. If you need to adjust the seat before going in, you'll see there's a little lever on the bottom there. You can give a tug on this, that pushes the seat forward and back. This right here will raise or lower the seat, and also the next lever up behind that will recline it. This particular version is the XLE. The XLE gives you a few cosmetic differences from the others, whereas you got wood grain interior, you have Bluetooth, so you can wirelessly synchronize your cell phone. So if you had a cell phone, you can use these buttons here to go as far as making and receiving calls. You also have adjustments there where you can turn the radio on and off, and this is a JBL 6-disc in-dash CD changer. If you go ahead and put the key in there for me, right around the side there. Now go ahead and just turn it once. You have two displays right here. These are electrochromatic or Optotron gauges, so you can see very easily at night. And on the left-hand side, you have a multi-information display, which will show you your average miles per gallon, distance to empty. It'll show you your outside temperature, a whole lot of useful information that you can get to just by scrolling that little button there. And then on this side, it'll show you what gear you're in as well as your odometer. Yep. You'll notice this is a gated shifter. The purpose of that is just simply so you don't put it into reverse by accident, and it's a lot easier to be able to shift through whatever necessary gear you need. So that's basically it. I'm going to hop in the other side, and I'll let you take it from here. Any questions before we go? No? All right.
Great job, Chris.